There was a lot of really fun times and good memories when I was in the marching band. I had a lot of really close friends in the drumline in particular. In 2006, I got to tap off the snare line and the drumline, so I had a lot of really fun times. I remember the pregame intro in 2006. I got to play a little solo, so being out in front of like 50 to 60,000 people on Saturdays, that was a lot of fun. The drumline performed for the basketball game one time in 2006 or 7. So I got to play a snare drum solo in JPJ, so that was a lot of fun. Yeah, I think specifically we went to the bowl in 2005. I think that was in Nashville, so that was a lot of fun. You know, that was my first time in Nashville and getting to have some social time in addition to getting to perform. You know, a bunch of times the drumline did a whole drumline battle series that year, so that was a lot of fun. I probably have several favorite Bandcamp memories that I won't talk about on camera. I think the Bandcamp process for the drumline is a lot of fun because they have to learn the pregame intro. And the pregame intro is very creative and we welcome student input. And it's something that really forms the identity for the drumline. So a lot of the times learning that and performing that for the first time for the rest of the band and getting to go into Scott Stadium and then perform the pregame intro. Pretty much every year, whether I was a member or whether I was teaching, being able to do that was definitely a lot of fun. I also have fond memories when the Doubletree used to have a pool, or the pool used to be open. I remember I used to cannonball the pool when the line for lunch was right there, and I would just get everyone really wet. So I don't know, that memory stuck out. When I was performing, I remember the Earth, Wind & Fire songs in 2005 were definitely a lot of fun to play. Let's see, what else? When I started teaching, when we were able to bring in some of the guest artists, that was a blast. We had Robert Jospe on drum set, and he had taught me drum set for a while. And that show we had Robert Jospe and Anton Fig, who is a celebrity in the drum set world. So to have two big mentors like that performing in the UVA drumline was phenomenal. So that was a really fun halftime show. And then also, as I started teaching more, I was able to write a little bit more. So that was really cool to hear some stuff, come out, like the Party Rock anthem. That was a neat show, and I wrote that. And yeah, there's been so many. I think every season I probably have, at least 3 or 4 that I really, really like listening to. I really like the identity now of the V-Saber kind of intro set that they have at halftime. And a lot of the pre-games over the years, some of the drumline pre-game intro stuff has been a lot of fun, like doing Kareeb and all the visual aspects of that. And there's even now people who aren't affiliated with the band or the drumline who can identify that that's the drumline's pre-game intros when they play Kareeb and do some of that choreography. So that's really fun. So I had to memorize all of the drum tap-offs, the cadence tap-offs when I was a member. So I had some that I liked better than others, but that was mostly just because I could play the tap-offs better than others. But yeah, I remember liking when we played Jamaica. Mouth was a fun one. And then as I started teaching, Pat wrote some more, and I wrote other couple, and we had some students write some other ones. So there was a lot of good ones. We had like Sissy Strut, and then we had some that came out of the halftime songs. So we had Party Rock was one that I really liked to hear. Yeah, the names for the drumline cadences, most of them are politically incorrect. Most of them have something to do with someone's mom or someone's, something that shouldn't be mentioned. But yeah, usually it's a group process also. The easy ones are if they come from a song, like Party Rock or Sissy Strut came from a song. But Mouth is definitely a incorrect joke, and I think one was called With Bird's Mom, something like that. In 2005, definitely my favorite UVA football memory was from the Florida State game. Just being right down in the front with the drum line when I think UVA got an interception with about like a minute left. And we were ranked in the 20s, and Florida State was ranked single digits, and we were able to pull off that victory and have the whole the student crowd rush the field, and to be able to just be playing like right there, and the football team was going nuts, and the student body was going nuts, and that was definitely my most fond memory there. The first I remember of UVA and Yamaha working together was, I believe, in 2005. We had a Yamaha representative come out. I think his name was Joel Tetzlaff. From California, and he hung out with us at a game, and it might have even been the FSU game, because I remember he just had a really great experience, and every year after that, someone from the Yamaha company would come out, give the drumline some t-shirts and ask if all the equipment's working well, and they would help us, fix any broken drums or broken harnesses. And yeah, that evolved over time into getting a full page photo spread and getting new orange drums, which are really really good looking and sound great. And we had a bunch of really good representatives over the years come support us. We had Chris Dolson and Scott Slocum. Yeah, the UVA Marching Band has evolved a lot over time. For one, in size, it was a lot smaller in 2004 and 5, and it's getting a lot bigger now, 2013. And for two, I think quality as well. There's a lot of really good high school musicians who maybe in the past wouldn't have looked at UVA simply because they really wanted to still perform in the marching band setting. And now that there is a really good marching band here, we're getting a lot of really talented people coming in, talented students. I know the drum line, the quality of the music that they play, and the choreography that they do is just getting better and better every year. The equipment has evolved. Pretty much what you're asking everyone to do is getting harder and harder and more entertaining. There's a need to innovate and a need to top what you did previously, and I think that's a really healthy thing. It's good. Over the years, the drumline intro has gotten certain pieces of identity to it, and I like to think that I kind of helped shape the Carib moment, making sure it was as big as possible and people could really look at that and see something that was a kind of quintessential UVA drumline. I think over the years, just the drumline getting better at playing drums and getting cleaner and being able to achieve a higher level of musical clarity, that was definitely something that I hung my hat on and really wanted to make sure it happened. So I think that was good. And then yeah, I would have to think about it. I really liked some of the music that I wrote. Party Rock was a lot of fun, and Batman was another one. And hopefully, if those ever get played again, maybe we could dig out those old charts. That'd be fun. I think the impact that being in the CMB has on my life today is that I have a really good social support network still. I'm still fortunate enough to be living in Virginia, and I have tons of CMB veterans pretty much anywhere I go if I ever needed to rely on them, which would be a good thing. I also have access to Mr. Peace, Mr. Cook, Mr. Zampetti, and Mr. Costin, and all these great directors and educators who have helped build a lot of different programs, and I can rely on them for advice and resources, and if I ever need letters of recommendation and things like that. And being able to lead groups effectively has been a real useful skill that I learned here. I still teach a lot. I still lead groups a lot. Even outside of music, just in fitness, which is what I do now, and being able to just speak in front of a 40-person ensemble, a 300-person ensemble, those skills carry over to when I teach, one person, 8 people, 20 people, really well. I think my time here at the UVA Marching Band and Drumline, was great. I had no idea when I first got into it in 2005 that it would become such a big part of what I did by 2012 and 13. I had a lot of friends in the drum corps and indoor drumline setting who would have killed to be able to teach at a college and to be able to have a 300+ person ensemble that they helped lead. So that was definitely a treasure that I still appreciate to this day. Mm-hmm.